He's for Israel. He's for Qatar if they give him a plane. These people are talking about an island in the Mediterranean. We're going to let her finish, but keep in mind as you listen to the rest of this how little they go watch that movie Melania if you think it's just her walking in out of a G6
by the young people and students and everybody
the first 15 minutes
against
are
the government's failure. And
they want to sell you the way that Russia did for many years, the greatness of the glory of the state.
And Bahrain and Iraq, the United States
country
military,
in the world. What that means when he says that is that my family's getting rich,
positions in the
and
southern
you
part
live
of Iran. We're going to give you guys the latest update on what is happening in the Middle East, especially in the last probably around 20 hours or so. First we're going to talk about the protests in Iran, and then we're going to talk about the IRGC attacks, and also what is happening with the talks, because it's quite fascinating.
Take a look here. Let's let Ivanka finish.
Almost 2 months.
Swam to the islands. We went on a hike barefoot all the way up to the top, and we were just captivated. And it stayed with us ever since. And over the course of many years, we developed the opportunity to help realize its potential and transform it, but with a lot of restraint and care, because the land is so beautiful that really...
By the way, stop it.
But there was one main deadline that's still in place, and it's 60 days, and obviously it's almost finished, and President Trump and the US government have confirmed they will no longer talk to the regime in Iran, and things will escalate. All right. Young people in Iran and students have risen up in over 20 cities to fight against the government's failure to
we know what she's saying. We get it. They're buying islands. Rich people are just buying islands, and we're doing it with care.
To create a brighter future. Let's go to the first video.
This is what they're getting at.
I'll translate the chants.
Spaceship off the country. They're going to the middle of the Mediterranean Sea. Inside Sicilian Island, the Albanian ex-military base in
the weather's getting slightly warmer now. In Iran, the sun
the data centers, by the way, you dummies, are not prisons for people that did the vaccine on retards. They are data centers, and
everybody is coming out to the chants in this video. Was
the other thing is they're probably not building a luxury resort. They're going to build something that looks like a luxury resort and then live in it when there's a nuclear war.
Occupiers, and the next video that we have,
and that's what it is. They want you to root for them. They want you to be excited for them and happy for them, because they made it out.
Don't be afraid.
Rich people are probably not going to be able to get off the planet before it inevitably emollients. But they are going to flee to the middle of the ocean if they can. Nevertheless, the sign has already been dubbed Trump Island by angry locals who made their displeasure and reported a deal. Below, we take a closer look at the island with its 3,600 nuclear bunkers, unexploded weapons, bomb shelters, and miles of tunnels. So here's the reality. Everybody's preparing. Everybody's preparing. From Spencer Pratt to Mark D'Amelio. Everybody's doing what they have to do. He's lifting, taking a little bit off the top, skimming from his daughter. And Jared and Ivanka have decided to buy a nuclear bunker in the middle of the Mediterranean
Sea. So we're not going anywhere.
Because they know something's coming.
We will stay here.
They don't only know it's coming, they're making it happen. That's the thing. They're not sitting in the dark. They know that all of this tension eventually boils over. The Henry Nowak stuff, the affordability crisis in America, the food, the cost of oil. In the next 6 months, things are going to skyrocket.
Doing protests against the Islamic occupation is quite dangerous, as you've also seen back in December and January.
And your only way out, if you're in America,
is getting weaker
every day because thanks to President Trump and the US military, because President Trump has not abandoned the mission, as we've seen over the last couple of months and few weeks. The US military continues the operation against the regime in the Strait of Hormuz. The blockade continues. There have been some clashes, but of course the blockade is doing its job. Draining the resources, draining the finances of the regime, creating uncertainty and infighting inside the regime. And that's why the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps are trying their best to drag the Americans and everybody else and the Arabs into an all-out war, because it's in the interest of the regime in Iran to have an all-out war, because at least it will create unity inside the regime and they could just drag this along. But the US decided not to take the bait and continue to paralyze the regime. and they don't know what to do right now. If the US military had abandoned the mission, if the US military and the US government had abandoned the Iranian people, for example, obviously the regime right now will be strengthened massively. But right now they can't, because the US military is not stopping what they are doing, and President Trump is also not giving up. And he had many opportunities to sign a deal, give a deal to the Islamic Republic, and just get out of it. He said, no, I'm not getting out of this. And he's rejected every single deal sent from Tehran. Let's go to the next video from today's protest. Once again, chanting, students would rather die than accept humiliation.
By Alter Beauty. Dunkin's $6 meal deal. 2 delicious wake-up wraps. And a medium iced or hot coffee.
Desperate, of course, brave, but it could also hugely
Chinese.
Major cities, but we are now also getting updates about other towns in the southern parts of Iran.
I still have the
We're just
Ukrainian
gonna
filter
verify that
on.
before giving you guys
Why
that
did he was
report.
Chinese?
More Iranians inside the country are sending direct messages to the outside world, asking for more people in Iran
I still think he's Chinese.
get weapons and basically get armed. Let's quickly go to the stories we already. Please,
He thinks it's funny, and he's yelling at police officers who are heavily armed and he's detained. If you don't think this guy needs to have a very, very long jail sentence, you're not thinking of I would say, the 5-foot-tall Asian girl that would unfortunately run into him late at night in an empty parking lot. This is not a safe individual.
When police respond to reports of serious
I don't need to see the rest of the video, just throw him in jail for that rendition.
threats to a local business, they come face to face with a suspect whose behavior, that may have been shaped in part by ChatGPT, makes it nearly impossible to tell what he believes is real.
And the crazy part is, I've had long, in-depth conversations with ChatGPT. It outright lying to me, it trying to pump me up and boost things, and you know, you ask it medical advice, and it always gives you the by far WebMD worst possible scenario. I never lost my track of reality or want to do something bad or dangerous after talking to AI. What is going on with these people?
And what's a complete delusion?
The
following is based on official police records released to date. On the evening of March 7th, 2025, a father and his son walk into a police station in Westlake, Ohio, to discuss a car the son had previously reported stolen, unaware that one of them is about to be arrested for something else entirely. The man in handcuffs is 20-year-old Shion Park, and the discussion about the car was all a ruse created by police to have him come to the station voluntarily.
It's a myopia?
The urgency to bring Shion to the station stemmed from a call earlier that night, when police were summoned to the Mark's grocery store where he works. According to reports, a co-worker from the store showed police text messages from Shion in which he threatened to kill everyone at the store the next day, while also calling himself Lord Shiva.
And don't know how to cook.
And so many people want to give him like mental services. Yeah, give him mental services, but don't give him that
was
little
popular throughout mainstream.
incarceration.
All the same with the gaslighting.
Because so many times they
and
go
none of
there,
them
they say all the right
was being
things. Oh, I've been
talked
cured,
about.
I've been cured, and then go right back to what made them this crazy in the first place.
And Esfahan as well.
What's the time? Hey,
Yeah, and I think so many were just focused kind of on that, and the kind of unveiling and uprising and fall of all that stuff. They were losing sight of focusing on, hey, funding vaccines, overprescribing of SSRIs, and that was all just being allowed to further flourish and ignite a lot of those delusional networks.
Jesus can't save you, buddy.
As Shion continues acting in a completely unpredictable manner with the officers, his father calls his other son from the lobby, hoping he can help communicate with officers. went into focus on that before, but I was just wondering what happened.
The US military have already retaliated. Things have escalated initially in Kuwait. The international airline once again being targeted only within days for the second time. Next video we have is from Kuwait.
I think the only thing is that diagnosed with
So
VID,
just a bit of a
to be
warning
honest.
if you are watching from the Middle East.
I'm honestly wondering if, like, because people have said that. I think even Joe Rogan's talked about it, where, like,
otherwise your neighbors
pot has been changed. Like, you know, obviously plants, they mutate, they change, and they're causing more, like, schizophrenic type effects. And I wonder if this could be that. Not sure. You said you missed it. What's this wacko's deal? We actually don't even know yet. It's just the title saying it has something to do with ChatGPT.
Yep, a lot of people butting in class, so yeah. Again, to keep in mind over the years what's been going on. Yeah, the different states legalizing marijuana going back over a decade now. And the benefits. Yeah, I don't think it's fair that they're completely ignoring a lot of the research and basic open discussion about these things throughout mainstream, and they're just allowing a lot of the fear propaganda. We've explained this multiple times in classes, butting in here again for us to repeat those things. Right, so in the states where it's not legalized yet, right, I mean, you think about, I mean, you're literally jumping over invisible lines. Legal, not legal. Legal, not legal. Right, and then they're pushing the psychosomatic drugs and psychedelics onto people, putting fear in them about the non-vaxxers. Just kind of try to encompass these things. I know it's hard. And then when you think about those businesses in pharma and the vaccines and stem cells and Botox and all these businesses that are profiting, for hormones, and then ignoring the issues. They've been spiking a lot of these things when people try to bring up the concerns with the pathogens in different things like Botox, and people were dying and getting pretty serious injuries from those things, and they wanted to ignore it and then pushed out fear propaganda about influenza. For real, when you think about it. Mad cow disease, bird flu. They're going to bring back measles. Right, to the point where they're targeting innocent citizens. Again, we can joke about it, and we do that because it helps us. Yeah, to be able to be lighthearted and joke about it is one of our medicines. It's how we deal with the stressors and frustrations of those things. Is that okay? You can call it a mental illness, bipolar, schizophrenic. Yeah, rational people can see the difference, and they can tell if someone is not safe. Can they comprehend what you're saying? Are they going off the chain about things that don't make sense and delusional beliefs? Yeah, we see a lot of that around here. People protecting pedophiles. You know what they're doing to those kids, right? I don't even like to think about what my own children and others have already been through in the hands of those sick, murderous pedophiles and very abusive people. And when you look at the funding networks connected to these cases, a lot of people and investigators have already put this together a long time ago. I remember 2012, and we told them they weren't going to get away with this. Yeah, and I believe it was around that time. Do you remember Edward Snowden? Just go back to that time frame. Edward Snowden, Tommy Robinson, RFK Jr.'s wife was found dead, hung in a closet. Handful of years later, his daughter died of a suspicious overdose, yeah. Right. But yeah, not to get too off track. So when you think about the states that have not legalized those things, and we've been telling you what they're doing with a lot of these hags and people who fear the reefer. And it's ridiculous. It's a goddamn fucking... I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's a character. We can just not do this class. We can go make muffins. You want to go make some muffins? We're having a coffee right now. Do, 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 do. Right, so we were showing them back when it was happening how they were fucking with businesses and people. I mean, the marijuana industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry. Yeah, and it's nice that you can have good businesses and regulation so people aren't buying it illegally or off the street, and it can be easily laced. Now, a lot of these groups that have been targeting the non-vaxxers and pushing out the ones that promote the vaccines and the hormones and the racial hate, Jew hate, Hasidic Jew hate. Why? Why do they do these things? No more hot dogs. You know, they put fucking horse meat in the goddamn Stouffer's lasagna. If you say goddamn one more time, you will not use the Lord's name in vain. God isn't the Lord, stupid. That's it. That's it. See, now I'm dead. Next. Oh, gotta start that over again. Oh, the heads that have been lost and taken off. The tongues that have been cut off, literally cut off. Dicks and tongues nailed to tables. What the hell is going on? Yeah, the gummies are really good. I like the gummies. Anyways, so a lot of those groups have been lacing marijuana batches going into these states where it's illegal. So the ones using it, oh yep, and then they're having flip outs because it's laced. They're lacing it with very powerful mind-altering psychedelics and different things. It's really bad. Remember, like angel dust? Right, so the same hags and idiots from back in the 60s and the Vietnam days that got all the angel dust laced weed and thought it was more powerful than what it really was. They're just confused. How can we help educate people and stop this madness? Anybody? Tucker? Tucker? Bueller? Okay. Now I'm gonna cause a disturbance. They're laughing at me. Well, it's hard to fall from the tree when it's already freaking chopped the fuck down. What am I holding on to? I'm already on the fucking ground. I'm falling up. I'm falling up. Catch me, I'm floating. Did we say enough? Do you get it? That they were trying to get through the point of this marijuana madness. What is this? People are flipping out. They're having flip outs on marijuana. Right, so anyways, this has been an ongoing thing with some of these groups where they lace it and then people are having serious psychedelic trips off of smoking marijuana. Sometimes right, if they're not marijuana smokers and they're not the type to do that, they'll put it in something. They will slip it and get it in you